Alright guys, welcome to Brantsteele Survivor Simulations. Today is our first simulation. It's going to be Survivor Past and Present. So, this should be fun. Let's look quickly at our tribes here. On the Vu tribe, we have Andrea Bolke, originally from Survivor Redemption Island. You know, has played a very new school game, probably one of the nicer new school games, but still so. Aubrey, often regarded as probably the most robbed player in the final tribal council. Carolyn from Worlds Apart, also a runner-up. Dominic Abate, a runner-up, starting to sense a theme. Jay Starrett from Millennials vs. Generation X. You know, the infamous, did you do that? Yep. guy. Kelly Wentworth, one of the more highly regarded modern players. Malcolm, same. One of the bigger comp beasts in modern times. Rick Devins, probably the best person to play the game who just didn't make it to the final tribal council. Ty Trang, the other runner-up from Co Wrong, along with Aubrey Bracco. And Wendy Diaz from Edge of Extinction, who stole their Flint. So, overall, with this... Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, with this cast, there is no winners. Because I felt that, no, it's new and old school tribes, but I just had the feeling that adding winners would just... I don't know. But, you know, I kept the new school and old school lines where they were. So yeah. Speaking of old school, the old school tribe I will mention, no one who is on the old school tribe, well, only one person on the old school tribe has played a season after season 20. So, on Yabaki tribe, we have Colby Donaldson from the Australian Outback, of course the runner-up from that season. Greg Buis and Jenna Lewis, both from Survivor Borneo. Jenna Lewis, of course, later went on to appear on All-Stars. Jerry Manti from the Australian Outback, third place in that season. Johnny Fairplay, probably one of the biggest old-school villains, who later went on to be first boot in Micronesia. We'll see where he lands here. Kathy Vavrick O'Brien from Marquesas. Rob Sesternino, probably one of the bigger Survivor contestants in modern talks today. Of course, hosts a podcast about Survivor. We'll see how he does on his new go-around. T-Bird from Survivor Africa, of course, was on the ballot for Second Chance, but didn't quite make the cut. Speaking of Second Chance, Terry Dietz is on this cast, the one person who has played a season after Heroes vs. Villains. Of course, got medically evacuated before he could make even the tribe swap, so I have a feeling he'll still play a fairly old school game. And Twyla Tanner, runner-up from Vanuatu. So, let's see how this opening will shake out. Supplies are scattered across the beach. Tribes have 2 minutes to gather as much as they can, and Kathy Vavrick O'Brien has found the legacy advantage. A great thing to have right off the gate. One moment. I wonder if Kathy will be able to use that advantage correctly. But I guess that will be a thing that we'll just have to wait and see on. Let's advance here. Of course, the Vu tribe idol is hidden, and the Yabaki tribe idol is hidden. Of course, on Yabaki, Kathy has the legacy advantage. The immunity challenge, Boo tribe ends up winning immunity and Flint, meaning that the old school Yabaki tribe will be going to the first tribal council of the season. At the Vu Beach, a lot's going on with Kelly Wentworth. She's impressing the rest of the team, is bonding with Aubrey Bracco. Of course, they both competed on Edge of Extinction, and she has a small fight with Ty about probably disagreements over eating meat. And we already have allegiances forming despite them not even going to Tribal Council tonight. There's a new school alliance of... Oh, not sure it's going to fit on the screen here. Let me scoot it up real quick so y'all can see it. There's going to be an alliance of Aubrey Bracco, Rick Devins, and Wendy Diaz. Of course, on Yabaki, Maverick O'Brien has the legacy advantage. Colby and Kathy are bonding strongly, and we have another new alliance of Colby, Greg Buis, Kathy, and Rob Sesternino, all people who competed in the first 5 seasons. We'll see how that alliance shakes out here at this first Tribal Council. No one has any eligible items to be played here tonight. I will read the votes. First vote, Jerry. Second vote, Twyla. Third vote, Twyla. Fourth vote, Twyla. That's 3 votes Twyla. 1 vote Jerry. Twyla. That's 4 votes Twyla. Twyla. 5 votes Twyla. Twyla, the tribe has spoken. A unanimous vote against Twyla Tanner. Unfortunate, but someone had to be taken out first here. And we are now at 19 players. Of course, at Vu, we have the alliance of 3. At Yabaki, Kathy has the advantage, and there's the alliance of 4. At the immunity challenge, Yabaki wins their first immunity, meaning Vu will be going to Tribal Council tonight. At Vu Tribe, Rick and Ty have a minor disagreement. I think, again, it is about Ty's obsession with keeping the animals safe here. You know, I think the rest of their tribe might be meat eaters. This might be a problem for Ty going forward. Meanwhile, at Yabaki, Kathy and T-Bird bond slightly. Jerry Manti and Johnny Fairplay bond slightly, and it has a lasting impact for those two. And Kathy and Terry bond slightly. That's looking pretty good for both of them. But the alliance of Colby, Greg, Kathy, and Rob Sesternino already has some fractures, as Greg is leaving the alliance. Greg is leaving the alliance. That is not looking good. Of course, Vu Tribe is going to Tribal Council. No one has anything to be played. I will read the votes. First vote, Dominic Abate. Second vote, Dominic. Kelly. Kelly, we are tied. 4 votes Dominic. 4 votes Kelly. And 2 votes Dominic, 2 votes Kelly, sorry. Kelly. Kelly, that's 4 votes Kelly, 2 votes Dominic. Kelly. Second person vote out survivor, past and present. Kelly Wentworth, you will need to bring me your torch. Sad to see Kelly Wentworth gone so soon. The 2 votes for Dominic were Kelly and Aubrey. Oh, Kelly and Andrea, actually. Andrea throwing a rogue vote on Dominic there. Aubrey decided to go with the majority for an even 9-9. Oh man, on Yabaki Beach, Colby has the Yabaki tribe idol. Colby has found the idol. It's interesting that there are 2 advantages on the old school beach, yet none on new school, where they could use it most, probably. Boo Tribe ends up winning immunity. Yabaki will be going to their 2nd tribal council this season. At Vu Beach, Wendy has 2 major meltdowns, as could be expected from the infamous Flint Stealer and Chicken Releaser. This could spell danger for Wendy Diaz if Boo Tribe goes to tribal council in the near future. Meanwhile, at Yabaki Tribe, Greg and Kathy bond, but Jenna and Jerry having a major fight with a lasting impact. But if you look down here, Yabaki Tribe Alliance of Kathy, Colby, and Rob is down 1 player. Rob Sesternina leaving the alliance. The alliance that started day 1 is already crumbling. Colby has the Yabaki idol at this tribal council, but he will not play it. I'll read the votes. First vote, Johnny Fairplay. Second vote, Johnny Fairplay. Third vote, Johnny Fairplay. Fourth vote, Greg. Fifth vote, Greg. Sixth vote, Greg. Seventh vote, Greg. 4 votes Greg, 3 votes Johnny, 2 votes left. Third person, survivor past and present, Greg. The 3 votes for Johnny Fairplay were Colby, Greg, and Kathy. Of course, a few of the original members of the Yabaki Alliance.
I should Pokemon.
So yeah. Alright. On to episode 4. Boo Tribe. Win reward a grill with meat, vegetables, and spices. But Yabaki Tribe ends up winning the immunity challenge, which will make the tribes an even 8-8 after this tribal council. At Vu Tribe, Dominic and Jay find something in common. Jay and Wendy find something in common. Aubrey and Dominic bond strongly. Oh, but a new alliance is forming on the beach before tribal council and is a majority alliance of 5 with Aubrey, Dominic, Malcolm, Rick Devins, and Ty Trang. We'll see how this alliance plays into this upcoming tribal council. Meanwhile, Yabaki Tribe. Jenna and Terry have a small fight with a lasting impact. Jerry and T-Bird, however, find something in common. As you can see, a new alliance is forming of Colby, Kathy, and T-Bird. A new alliance out of the ashes of the former 4-person alliance is now a 3-person alliance consisting of the 2 remaining members of the original, Colby and Kathy, along with T-Bird. This could play in if they ever go to tribal council again. But for now, Vu is going to tribal council. No one stands to play an idol. First vote, Wendy. Second vote, Carolyn. Third vote, Wendy. Fourth vote, Carolyn. Fifth vote, Carolyn. Sixth vote, Carolyn. That's 4 votes Carolyn, 2 votes Wendy, 3 votes left. Fourth person, vote out survivor past and present, Carolyn. The 2 votes on Wendy were Andrea and Carolyn. So Andrea, so far on both votes, is on the wrong end of the vote. Not looking good for Wendy right now. And not looking good for Andrea right now. As you can see, tribes are an even 8-8 split right now. Let's go to our next challenge. Well, our next twist, actually, as there will now be 3 tribes formed from scratch. The 3rd tribe left to start their camp from scratch. And because of this, the 3rd tribe will be getting an extra member. So on Vu tribe, we have Jenna Lewis and Johnny Fairplay from Old School on the minority against Malcolm, Ty, and Wendy from New School. On Yabaki, we have Colby and Terry from Old School, outnumbered by Andrea, Aubrey, and Jay from New School. And on Coroni Vuli tribe, we have Dominic and Rick Devins from New School, outnumbered by Jerry, Kathy, Rob, and Teresa. Let's head to the allegiances. Wendy looks to be all on her own, but Malcolm and Ty are working together. So Wendy could actually be a possible swing vote between New and Old School here. And considering Wendy's erratic nature, we could see that happen. Over at Yabaki tribe, we see no real allegiances. Colby and Aubrey each formed good allegiances on their tribes, but all of their former alliance members are now away from them. So this could be interesting. Meanwhile, at Coroni Vuli tribe, we see Dominic and Rick Devins working together, and Kathy and Teresa working together. So there is a possibility that the 2 remaining Old School on this tribe could flip over to the New School side and blindside Kathy and T-Bird here. But that will soon be seen. At the immediate challenge, Yabaki and Coroni Vuli win immunity. Vu tribe will be going to Tribal Council tonight. We will see how that plays out for them right now. At Vu tribe, Jenna Lewis and Malcolm have a small fight. Johnny Fairplay and Ty have a major fight. But a new alliance is forming. An alliance of... Oh no, it's not. The old alliance from original Vu. Ty Trang is leaving it. Ty is no more with that alliance. His allegiances were with Malcolm are now cut. So this could show signs that Malcolm might be in trouble tonight if Ty and Wendy flip to the other side. And we also see a new alliance forming between Jenna Lewis and Johnny Fairplay, who both had fights with New School members. Old School's bonding together. If they can just get one of the lone New Schoolers who have no allegiances to flip over, this could be good for New School tonight. At Yabaki camp, Jay and Terry have a major fight. It has a lasting impact. I could see them butting heads a little bit. Meanwhile, Coroni Vuli, we see Dominic and Rob Sesternino bonding strongly. But Jerry and Kathy have a minor disagreement, but has a lasting impact. But if we look at this Vu Tribe Alliance, which is now down to 4, it's now down to 3. Malcolm is also leaving the alliance. This is cutting even more ties for Malcolm, which could spell danger even if it doesn't spell danger for him right now. It could spell danger for him at the merge when he meets up with Aubrey and Dominic and Rick Devins. At the Vu Tribal Council, the first vote goes to Malcolm. Ty Trang, tie. Tie, the tribe has spoken. A unanimous vote. Old School somehow managed to keep their numbers intact, and not only that, managed to incite a unanimous vote against Tai Trang. It is now an even 2-2 split of Old School to New School on Vu Tribe. On Vu Tribe, Malcolm finds the idol. This is looking up now for Malcolm after he severed all of his ties. This might be what he needed in this game. Of course, Jenna Lewis and Johnny Fairplay in the alliance. On Yabaki, of course, Colby has the idol, and Aubrey and Colby, both lone wolves, probably trying to pull numbers onto their sides. And on Coroni Vuli, we have Dominic and Rick Devens, and we have Kathy and T-Bird, leaving Rob and Jerry sort of in the middle to do whatever they so wish. The reward, Vu and Yabaki win reward. Both of them winning some good luxury stuff, some baked goods, and Vu getting some iced tea and milk as well. Meanwhile, at immunity, Coroni, Vuli, and Vu win immunity, sending Yabaki to Tribal Council. Yabaki now going to be down to 4 members after this Tribal Council. At Vu Tribe, the alliance of Jenna Lewis and Johnny Fairplay momentarily breaks up, only to reform a few seconds later, realizing their fighting was childish and they need to group together or they're going to be voted out. At Yabaki, Aubrey impressing the rest of the team. So overall, this is not looking great for Colby. If they're the ones, both the ones gathering votes, Colby might need his idol tonight. And at Coroni Vuli, Dominic and Kathy bonding slightly, Rick impressing the rest of the team, and meanwhile, Rick Devens leaving the original Vu Alliance, leaving just Aubrey and Dominic on separate tribes, fight for themselves. At Yabaki Tribal, no one stands to play an idol. First vote, Aubrey Bracco. Second vote, Terry Dietz. Third vote, Terry Dietz. Sixth person voted as survivor past and present, Terry Dietz. He made it relatively far, but unanimously voted out. And now, all of the new schoolers converge around Colby, thinking even if they go to Tribal Council, they are entirely safe. But, of course, they do not yet know about his idol. At Vu Tribe, of course, it's still Jenna Lewis, Johnny Fairplay working together, and now Wendy Diaz, a lone wolf. Malcolm, a lone wolf. Either of them could really be voted out if Vu goes to Tribal. At Yabaki, New School thinks is Colby all versus them. And though it is, Colby has a secret weapon and could send any of them home if he so wishes. And at Coroni Vuli, we have Kathy and T-Bird working together. And then, that's really it. Everyone on New School is kind of working by their lonesomes. So even they could flip over to their side. Again, it is really a situation where anyone from New School, either Rick Devens or Dominic Abate, could go home next. Vu and Yabaki win reward. Vu gets a visit from a chef. Yabaki gets kebabs. For immunity, Vu and Coroni Vuli sending Yabaki to Tribal Council. Oh, how little they know. At Vu, nothing really special occurs. Of course, we know Malcolm has his idol. At Yabaki, Colby has his idol, but nothing really happens there either. Everyone thinks, yeah, it's a pretty clear and cut vote. At Coroni Vuli, got a couple people impressing the team, Rick and T-Bird. No one plays an idol. Colby not playing his idol tonight. First vote, Jay. Second vote, Colby. Third vote, Colby. Seventh person, vote as survivor past and present, Colby, with idol in pocket, is out of the game. What a tragic sight to be seen. He knew he was on the outs against 3 new school players, but thought maybe he could flip one over and go to rocks, but just did not turn out that way, and he is out. And we are now merged. It is now a 7-6 split, with new schoolers very slightly dominating over the old school. But when it comes to swap, it is clear plurality for the yellow tribe. So let's see what's going on. Ooh, Kathy has found a reward stealer. So Kathy not only has a reward stealer, but also a legacy advantage, and of course Malcolm has his idol from the swap. Of course, with alliances, there is Aubrey, Rick Devins, and Wendy Diaz. There's Aubrey working with Dominic Abate. There's Kathy and T-Bird. And there's Jenna and Johnny Fairplay. So Aubrey has a few new schoolers on her side, and then there's a couple pairs on the old school side who could possibly flip to new school if they feel in danger. Johnny Fairplay wins the first individual immunity of the season. Looking fairly good for him. At the tribe camp, Dominic and Jerry find something in common, sort of being the villains of their seasons. And also, Dominic and Wendy have a major fight, both big personalities, both could easily, have an easy argument. Malcolm and Rob bonding slightly with a lasting impact. But we have the alliance of Aubrey, Rick Devins, and Wendy Diaz is dissolved. But a new alliance has formed, crossing tribal lines with Jay, Kathy, T-Bird, and Wendy. Now that Wendy is cut loose from the ties of Aubrey's alliance, she decides, you know what, there's another lone wolf on the new school with Jay. Let's join up with a known pair of Kathy and T-Bird. And, let's make something happen. Tribal Council. If anyone has an idol, now would be the time to do so. No one plays an idol. First vote, Andrea. Wendy. Rick. That's 1 vote Andrea, 1 vote Wendy, 1 vote Rick. Wendy. Andrea. Rick. That's 2 votes Wendy, 2 votes Andrea, 2 votes Rick. Rick. Andrea. Andrea. 4 votes Andrea, 3 votes Rick, 2 votes Wendy. 4 votes left. Andrea. Rick. 5 votes Andrea, 4 votes Rick, 2 votes Wendy. 2 votes left. Andrea. The tribe has spoken. It is a 7-4-2 vote. This is going to be very confusing. Let's see what happened. Jay, Jerry, Kathy, Malcolm, Rick, T-Bird, and Wendy all voted for Andrea. So the alliance with Kathy and Jay and T-Bird and Wendy all voted for Andrea, and then Rick Devens, Malcolm, and Jerry hopped on the vote. The votes for Rick were Jenna and Johnny Fairplay, of course, that pairing, along with Boston Rob and Andrea. Oh wait, not Boston Rob, what am I thinking? Rob Sesternino and Andrea. So yeah, those four voted for Rick, and then Aubrey and Dominic, those two who are a pairing, decided to vote for Wendy, not really knowing what the vote was. And suddenly we are now down to 12, and it is 6 new school, 6 old school. Let's get a brief look at alliances here. We have Aubrey and Dominic. We have Kathy and T-Bird. We have Jenna and Fairplay. And we have Jay and Kathy and T-Bird and Wendy. So we have a few pairs and then a 4-person alliance. There are 2 groups. One is Aubrey, Dominic, Jenna, Johnny, Kathy, and Rob. The other is Jay, Jerry, Malcolm, Rick, T-Bird, Wendy. Group 1 wins reward. They win a trip to a poolside resort. And Kathy wins immunity. Another old schooler winning immunity. If we look back at camp, we have a few things. Jenna really impressing the rest of the team, but Rob Sesternino having a major meltdown. This might spell trouble. Let's look at Tribal Council. No one stands to play an idol. First vote, Wendy. Second vote, Rob. Johnny Fairplay. Johnny. Johnny. Rob. Johnny. Wendy. As 4 votes Johnny Fairplay. 2 votes Wendy. 2 votes Rob. Wendy. Rob. As 4 votes Johnny Fairplay. 3 votes Wendy. 3 votes Rob. 2 votes left. Wendy. That is 4 votes Wendy, 4 votes Fairplay, 3 votes Rob, 1 vote left. Wendy. The tribe has spoken. 5-4-3. The pairing of Aubrey and Dominic still voting for Wendy, along with Malcolm, Rick Devens, and Rob Sesternino. The 4 votes for Fairplay were the 4-person alliance of Jay, Kathy, T-Bird, and Wendy. And the 3 votes for Rob were Jenna, Johnny Fairplay, and Jerry. Overall, quite confusing. But now we are down to only 5 new schoolers and 6 old schoolers, even though new schoolers had the tribal majority going into merge. Alliances, same as before, minus Wendy now being gone. From the alliance is now just Jay, Kathy, and Teresa on that alliance. The reward challenge. Group 1 is Aubrey, Jay, Jerry, Johnny, and Boston. Not Boston Rob. Why do we keep saying Boston Rob? Rob Sesternino. Group 2 is Dominic, Jenna, Kathy, Rick Devens, and Teresa. Malcolm doesn't participate. And Group 1 wins reward. A trip to a floating restaurant with pizza, chicken wings, and beer. Malcolm wins immunity. The first new schooler to win immunity this season. And now we go to tribal counts. We go to the tribal camp, where Dominic and Rob Sesternino are impressing the team. Malcolm has the idol. No one stands to play an idol, though. First vote, Johnny Fairplay. Second vote, Rob Sesternino. Third vote, Jay. Fourth vote, Rob. Fifth vote, Fairplay. Sixth vote, Jay. We are tied. 2 votes Rob, 2 votes Fairplay, 2 votes Jay. Rob. Fairplay. Rob. That's 4 votes Rob, 3 votes Fairplay, 2 votes Jay. 2 votes left. Rob Sesternino, the tribe has spoken. The votes for Boston Rob. Not Boston Rob. Why do we keep saying Boston Rob? We won't have to make that confusion anymore, though. The votes for Rob Sesternino were Jenna, Jerry, Johnny, Kathy, Malcolm, and T-Bird. Jay, oddly enough, left out of the vote by Kathy and T-Bird. You'll have to see what that is about once we get back to camp. The votes for Johnny were Jay, Malcolm, and Rob Sesternino. And the 2 votes for Jay, as usual, the odd ones out, Aubrey and Dominic. The pairing that usually does not have the vote. Alliances stay as they are. Look here, Group 1 for this reward is Jay, Kathy, and Teresa. Group 2 is Aubrey, Dominic, and Jerry. Group 3 is Jenna, Fairplay, and Malcolm. Rick Devins automatically wins reward. Kathy, Jay, and T-Bird, the Alliance of 3, wins reward in an aerial tour of the local area. T-Bird wins immunity. Just you fancy that. So yeah, T-Bird has won immunity. Safe from the vote tonight. Let's guarantee a spot final 9. Let's look here. Dominic and Jay bond slightly. Jay and Jerry have a small fight. So Jay clearly drawing lines in the sand. Good with new school, bad with old school. But a new alliance is formed which crosses tribal lines. Dominic, Jerry, and Johnny Fairplay. Johnny Fairplay has been the minority vote for the past couple votes, but Dominic should now be in on votes as long as they are Jerry and Johnny's votes. No one stands to play an idol. I will read the votes. First vote, Kathy. Johnny Fairplay. Malcolm. Kathy. Malcolm. That is 2 votes Malcolm. 2 votes Kathy. 1 vote Fairplay. Kathy. Kathy. Kathy, the tribe has spoken. 7-2 to 1. If we look right here, the 2 votes for Malcolm were Kathy and T-Bird, and the 1 vote for Fairplay was Jay. Kathy gives the legacy advantage to her truest ally, T-Bird, who now has it. Will hopefully live to see it played at finals. And how the alliances are: Aubrey and Dominic, Jenna and Fairplay, though Jenna and Fairplay is really starting to wane. Jay and T-Bird, and the new alliance of Dominic, Jerry, and Fairplay. T-Bird wins reward and shares it with Jay, Jerry, and Malcolm. So those four win barbecue with a loved one. And T-Bird wins her second immunity of the season. T-Bird guaranteed the final 8. Aubrey and T-Bird bond slightly with a lasting impact. Dominic and Jay find something in common. Jenna and T-Bird find something in common. Of course, we saw the alliance waning of Jenna and Fairplay. It has now dissolved. Jenna and Fairplay is no more. So we could see Jenna possibly starting to go after Fairplay or vice versa. No one stands to play an idol at Final 9. I'll read the votes. First vote, Aubrey. Jenna. 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 Aubrey. That's 2 votes. That's 3 votes Jenna, 2 votes Aubrey. Jenna. Aubrey. That's 4 votes Jenna, 3 votes Aubrey, 2 votes left. Jenna, the tribe has spoken. The 3 votes for Aubrey were Jay, Jenna, and T-Bird. Jay and T-Bird still being left out of the vote. If T-Bird can keep winning immunities and make Final 6, that would be great for her. Here is the alliances: Aubrey and Dominic, Jay and T-Bird, and Dominic, Jerry, and Johnny Fairplay. Johnny Fairplay wins immunity. It looks like Jay or T-Bird might be in trouble tonight. Johnny and T-Bird have a minor disagreement. This does not look good for T-Bird. T-Bird might be going home tonight. Jay might be getting that legacy advantage tonight. If anyone has a hidden immunity and they'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Malcolm will be playing his idol. First vote, Malcolm. 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 Does not count. Jay. T-Bird. T-Bird. Rick Devens. Rick Devens. That's 2 votes T-Bird. 2 votes Rick Devens. 1 vote Jay. 1 vote left. Oh wait, no, there is no votes left. It's 8 votes. So we do have a tie between Rick Devens and T-Bird. We will go to a revote. Rick Devens. Rick Devens. Rick Devens. T-Bird. T-Bird. That's 2 votes T-Bird, 3 votes Rick Devens, 1 vote left. T-Bird. We will draw rocks. Aubrey, Dominic, Jay, and Jerry are all eligible to draw rocks. It is a 1 in 4 chance that you go home right here. 13th person out of Survivor, past and present. Aubrey, rocked out. Oh my god. Aubrey just got rocked out of the game. That is insane. The 3 votes, so there were originally... So the 1 vote for Jay was Rick Devens. Rick... So the votes for Rick were T-Bird and Jay. The votes for T-Bird were Malcolm and Dominic. The votes for Malcolm were Aubrey, Jerry, and Johnny Fairplay. And since Rick voted for Jay, he was no longer a consequence, and T-Bird voted for Rick. The current vote count will be 2-1 in favor of T-Bird, and then Rick Devens got 2 of the 3 vote switches, and thus we have the tie that sends Aubrey home. What a tragic event. Final 7. And now suddenly New School back in control 4-3. T-Bird still with the legacy advantage in pocket. Of course, it looks like Dominic, Jerry, and Johnny might have a plurality if the 2 people not in an alliance go a separate way from Jay and T-Bird. Dominic wins immunity at Final 7. T-Bird is only 1 treble away from being able to play the legacy advantage, but might be a bit too late. But Malcolm has found the merge idol after properly playing his pre-merge idol. Rick Devens is impressing the rest of the team, but the alliance of Jay and T-Bird is no more. However, a new alliance is forming between Dominic, Malcolm, and Rick. 3 new schoolers bonding together saying, look, let's get these old schoolers out of here. It might be enough. Malcolm will play his idol right away. First vote, Johnny Fairplay. Wah, 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 wah. Second vote, T-Bird. T-Bird. Johnny Fairplay. T-Bird. T-Bird, the tribe has spoken. 5-2. The other vote for Johnny Fairplay was in fact Jay. The legacy advantage is going to Rick Devens. Will be able to play it at this upcoming tribal council. There are 2 3-person alliances. Each of them do include Dominic Abate. And there's only 1 person not in an alliance. That being... Hold on. That is actually... That's Jay. So Jay could potentially flip to whichever alliance Dominic doesn't side with, and he could possibly send this to a rock draw at Final 6. Malcolm wins immunity, shares the reward with 2 others being Dominic and Rick Devens. They go have a steak dinner. Dominic forming some bonds with both Jerry and Rick, both of the alliances that he has, just to cover his bases. And Rick, of course, is going to use his legacy advantage tonight. First vote, Jay. Second vote, Johnny. Third vote, Jay. Fourth vote, Jay. Jay, the tribe has spoken. Though it could have seemed that he could possibly be a swing vote between the 2 alliances if they turned on each other. Instead, they all converged on 1 target. But now, Dominic is stuck between 2 2-person alliances, all going to be down to which one he chooses. Either New School with Malcolm and Rick Devens, or Old School with Jerry and Johnny Fairplay. Johnny Fairplay wins immunity. So either he will be turning on Jerry and sending her home, or will be turning on one of the New School. Malcolm impressing the rest of the team at Final 5, which is really useful, but no one finds the idol. Tribal Council, first vote, Jerry. Second vote, Malcolm. Third vote, Malcolm. Fourth vote, Jerry. It's all going to come down to Dominic Abate's vote. We are 2-2, 1 vote left. 16th person, voted as survivor past and present, Jerry. Dominic did turn on New School. Decided to go with Malcolm and Rick Devens for the final 4. And now Johnny Fairplay seems all but done, unless he can win immunity. Rick Devens wins immunity at Final 4, guaranteeing him a spot in the final Tribal Council. Johnny Fairplay is all but over. Malcolm, Johnny, Fairplay, the tribe has spoken. Dominic, Malcolm, and Rick Devens are now faced by Andrea, Aubrey, Jay, Jenna, Jerry, Johnny, Kathy, Rob, T-Bird, and Wendy in the jury. Only one of these 3 finalists will win the $1 million. All New School in the final of Survivor Past and Present. First vote, Malcolm. Second vote, Dominic. Third vote, Rick. Fourth vote, Dominic. Fifth vote, Malcolm. Sixth vote, Dominic. Seventh vote, Dominic. That is 4 votes Dominic, 2 votes Malcolm, 1 vote Rick, 3 votes left. Dominic, you have won Survivor Past and Present by a vote of 7-1. Votes for Dominic were Andrea, Aubrey, Jay, Jenna, Johnny, Kathy, and Wendy. The 2 votes for Malcolm were Rob and T-Bird. The 1 vote for Rick Devens was Jerry. Wendy Diaz, of course, wins the fan favorite. Let's look at this season. Of course, the one person rocked out and technically idled out is Aubrey Bracco. Somehow rocked out and idled out at the same time. What an amazing sight, but also a terrible sight for Aubrey. Probably one of the most robbed players of the season. At least would have made it past that Tribal Council. Probably further. If the New School thing had happened and Aubrey were there, she likely would have made Final 4. Yeah. We proceed. Johnny Fairplay won the most challenges this season with 5, the most immunities this season with 3. A huge tie for reward challenges between Aubrey, Jay, Johnny Fairplay, Kathy, Rob, and T-Bird. Most votes was on Johnny Fairplay. He was in the minority a lot in the merge. And Malcolm found 2 idols this season. Of course, thank you for watching this season. It was really fun to simulate, and I hope you join us next time on Brantsteele Survivor Simulations, where hopefully we will have a special guest. So long.